Hello everyone, I am so excited to be sitting next to a woman today that is not only a good friend of mine, but she is someone that I truly look up to. She inspires me. She is a mom, she is a wife, she's an entrepreneur, she's an advocate, she is one of the most amazing singers I've ever heard, and she had a little title you might know called Miss America. She was Miss America 2002, and that is my good friend Katie Harman. Katie! Thank you for sharing this story and your time with us, because I know you have so much that you can help other people with as far as pursuing their dreams and life balance and all of those things, because you have a lot going on, don't you?
Oh yes, I think all of us do. I think it's the modern woman's dilemma. It's how to balance it all. How to have a life that's fulfilling, but responsibilities. Or maybe I should say how to balance the two.
Yeah. Your
dreams and your goals and your aspirations with the everyday things that we know we can't avoid.
Yeah, relationships and husbands and kids. And
husbands, kids, jobs, those sorts of things. When we are young people, we have the world in front of us. We make these dreams and these goals and things that we want to attain in our life. And then as responsibilities start to add up in our lives, sometimes we forget about those dreams.
Those things kind of get thrown to the side.
Yes, or we think, gosh, I can't achieve that. I don't know how. I don't have the connections, I don't have the resources, or maybe I don't think I'm worth it. I don't think I'm good enough to do that. And that prevents us from achieving some of those things that when we were younger, we never ever dreamed that it wouldn't be possible.
And that just kills me, that people think that they can't do something.
Yes.
And speaking of can't, you know, you were Miss America 2002, and there's some crazy statistic out there that your son has a better chance at playing in the NFL than your daughter being Miss America.
Super Bowl.
In the Super Bowl. Bigger yet.
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
So you were quite the oddity.
Lord. Sometimes I feel like it. No, my own sisters would say the same thing.
Right. And the only woman from Oregon to
so far.
Yeah, that is so fantastic. And the fact that I got to be there to root you on, Katie. Nothing was more exciting than being there in the crowd watching you get crowned. It was like watching my sister get crowned. It was the most amazing thing, and I remember it like yesterday. But I want to know for you, Katie, because people think pageants, and so many of them are pageants, right? They're catty. You know, these girls make it their whole life. It's all about what you look like. Why did you want to be Miss America? Was that always a life dream, and why?
It wasn't a life dream. It was something that came about when I was a freshman in college. It was an opportunity that was presented to me, and before that time, I never thought it was something that I could ever attain. I grew up, like so many in America, watching the Miss America pageant, thinking that that young woman who was crowned was unapproachable. She was put on a pedestal from that point forward and unreachable. I thought, that was never me. I never put myself in that position, never thought of myself in that role. And when I was a freshman in college, like so many young people in America, and throughout the world really, I was struggling to pay for my education.
Oh, that's a shocker.
Yeah. Think of that. So I was faced with a quandary of how am I going to pay for this life's goal? I knew that I wanted to pursue higher education. I knew that for the career path that I wanted, I was going to need higher education, but I didn't have a way to pay for it. And I came across my former high school drama director on Christmas vacation when I was back at home visiting my parents that freshman year, and she had participated in the Miss Oregon Scholarship Program 40 years before that.
Wow.
She herself received funding as a result of her participation in the program and had followed the evolution of the program that long, and knew that it was something that would be not only a perfect fit for me as an individual, but for so many young women in the exact same position that I was in. And when she started to talk with me about the program, I still had those myths and misconceptions in my mind, and I remember thinking, she's crazy!
Yeah.
She's crazy. There's
I'm not
no
doing anything.
Way. No! There's no way I'm getting in a bikini in front of 24 million people and my father and God.
Yeah.
There's no way. That's never going to happen. That will be a miracle.
Yeah. And it was. And man, did you look good.
You are.
If you missed it, you gotta watch it.
There was a lot of work involved in bikini. But it was an opportunity. All of a sudden, when she mentioned that, and I started to think about it, and I let the opportunity ruminate in my processing, all of a sudden it became something that was more possible. So while it wasn't a dream that was that was innate within me. It was a dream that enveloped, because I let it.
Because you let
envelop my life, yes, and develop, I should say, rather than envelop. It started to envelop my processing and the way that I went about things from that point forward. But I allowed it to become a possibility, even though it still took quite a few steps for me to understand and believe in myself, but understand that it was a possibility. I had to first and foremost believe in the program.
Of course.
Like everyone else, I think when we see people who are beautiful, or we see things like pageants, we perceive that the people participating in that, sometimes show business, as people think this about people in show business, that they are one note. All they are is beautiful. How can they possibly be intelligent? How can they possibly have a soul?
And talent.
And talent. And a life and a family and all of these things. And I had to understand, I had to kind of swim past those misconceptions to the real layers of what it means to be someone who understands true beauty rather than just outward beauty, and who understood the program, because the program is the largest provider of scholarship dollars to women in the world.
Yes, it is.
In the world. And after 2 years of participation in the program, after winning Miss America, I earned about $75,000 toward my education. $75,000. It completely paid for my degree. I graduated from Portland State University completely debt-free in 2005.
Amazing. Okay, but I want to back up a little bit, because you said 2 years in the program. But there are times in life where, you know, it takes years and years. You look at the Warren Buffetts, and you look at the Bill Gates and the Oprahs and all the other people that we look up to in society as achieving great success, and how much they went through. And I look back and go, it was 2 years for you. And what you had to do and what I saw, because I was lucky enough, fortunate enough to be by your side.
In your experience.
Right, but what you did, Katie, I have to say, was a little extraordinary, and I want to talk a little bit more about that. You competed your first year, got first runner-up at Miss Oregon, and then you said to yourself, I remember, I'm going to give it 1 year and give it all that I have. What was that year like for you? What was your dedication like to this goal at that time?
When I committed to that dream, when I committed to the opportunity that was presented to me through the Miss Oregon and the Miss America Scholarship Program, I committed to it fully, and I devoted my life to it, and I was disciplined. And it taught me the greatest lesson about achieving dreams, because it wasn't something that happened overnight and was therefore something I had to work towards. I don't think anyone who has achieved success has ever had it happen overnight without any work, without any challenges.
It's not heard of. I mean, and you hear those stories.
It doesn't. I don't think it exists.
In Hollywood, you hear those stories, but I'm telling you.
Yeah, we hear about the stories of a supermodel who was discovered at a grocery store with her mother, and then the next day she's on a plane to Paris.
Cover of Vogue.
Yes, it doesn't happen. There is so much that must happen between when your dream is first realized in your soul and in your life, to where you become, or where you feel like you're a success even. It's not necessarily the success that other people place on it.
Right.
Or the labels that other people place on success. When you yourself feel like your dream has been realized, I think that's a matter of success.